Mission log, Captain Rogers, Sol Defense Fleet, flagship Specter Prime. Mission number 7. For centuries, the stars above were a silent enigma, gleaming like distant gods watching over an oblivious humanity. We, the Earthborn, lived in the shadows of giants, empires that spanned galaxies, civilizations older than our entire recorded history. To them, we were nothing but ants. The Thal Draan, war-hardened conquerors with their serpent-like forms, saw Earth as an irrelevant speck, a rock orbiting a forgotten star. The Velari, masters of energy and ethereal technology, whispered about our primitiveness, their voices carrying disdain like wind through a hollow canyon. We listened, we observed, and we waited. They never suspected that humanity had been preparing. In the depths of our oceans, hidden beneath mountains, cloaked stations orbiting unseen, we built our defenses. Generations of preparation born from our greatest strengths. Determination, ingenuity, and the terrifying resolve of a species that had survived its own madness time and again. When the Thal Draan and Velari War spilled into the Sol system, they called us primitive. By the end, they'd call us something else. Warriors. Mission log, Captain Rogers, Specter Prime, Sol Defense Fleet. Mission number 7. I'd always heard war arrives not with a shout, but a whisper. That's what history taught us. When empires fell, when kingdoms crumbled, it was rarely with grand horns of warning. It was an ember, unnoticed, that grew into fire. But the day the aliens' war came to our Sol system, there were no whispers. There was no subtlety. It started with light, a pulse that pierced the dark void beyond Jupiter. At first, we thought it was a solar anomaly. Even the science stations at Europa assumed it was some cosmic hiccup, a flicker of radiation. We weren't strangers to such things, but I knew better, and I wasn't alone. Humanity has an instinct for sensing trouble. That day, every man, woman, and child who ever looked to the stars felt it in their bones. Something was coming. The alert hit Specter Prime's bridge at 0600 hours Earth Standard Time. I was in my command seat, halfway through a bitter cup of synthetic coffee, when the tactical officer, Lieutenant Hale, shot upright in her station. "Captain, I've got something weird coming off Jupiter's orbit. Unregistered energy signatures." "Weird how?" I asked, setting the cup down. "Not local. It's..." Hale paused, her fingers flying across the holographic console as the tactical array built a visual. "It's big, sir. Multiple energy bursts. Incoming vessels. Fast-moving. A lot of them." I stood, feeling the bridge's hum as systems powered up. The great ship, Specter Prime, the flagship of Earth's secret Sol Defense Fleet, seemed to growl in response to the rising tension. "Comms, open a line to Fleet Command," I ordered. "I want a full diagnostic, and patch Europa Station in. I want eyes on that anomaly now." Lieutenant Fisk, my communications officer, nodded sharply. "Aye, Captain. Channel open." Seconds passed like hours as we waited for the feed. Then, Europa Station's feed flickered to life on the forward view screen. A burst of static resolved into a grim-faced scientist. "Dr. Vaughn, Europa's lead astrophysicist." "Captain Rogers," Vaughn said, his voice cracking. "We have confirmation. Those are not natural phenomena. We're detecting vessel signatures of non-human origin. Hundreds of them. Energy profiles suggest 2 distinct fleets." The bridge fell silent. 2 fleets. "Thal Draan," I murmured, my fists tightening at my sides. "And the Velari." The room felt colder. For decades, humanity had monitored whispers of galactic civilizations through intercepted signals, classified data, and silent probes. 2 names surfaced over and over again. The Thal Draan, a reptilian race of warriors who conquered star systems with fire and fury. And the Velari, ancient, ethereal beings who bent energy itself to their will. Their war had ravaged systems light years away. But Sol had always been ignored. Until now. "They're here," Dr. Vaughn said, confirming what I already knew. "Their war, it's reached us." I snapped into motion, adrenaline burning away the fog of uncertainty. "Sound General Quarters," I barked. "All stations to battle readiness. Prep the stealth grid and activate external cloaks. I want Specter Fleet operational in 10 minutes. No exceptions. Alarms blared as Specter Prime came alive. The hum of the ship became a roar. Crew members snapped to attention, running to their posts as Earth's hidden defenders prepared for war. Lieutenant Hale's voice carried over the comms. "Fleet-wide message, Captain." "Yes?" "Patch me through." The bridge's holographic display glowed with the Specter Fleet's formation. 12 cloaked battlecruisers positioned across the asteroid belt, hidden from alien eyes. Earth's secret weapon. I cleared my throat as the broadcast went live. "This is Captain Rogers, Sol Defense Fleet, mission number 7. I let the words hang for a beat. We've trained for this moment. Humanity's survival depends on our actions today. The Thal Draan and Velari think we are primitive, ants under their boots. Let's remind them that Earth bites back." The reply came as one, a thunderous, "Aye, Captain." We weren't primitive. We weren't helpless. We were ready. By 0800 hours, the alien fleets emerged from the void. From the forward view screen, the tactical holograms revealed them in chilling detail. The Thal Draan fleet moved like a predator, angular ships bristling with cannons and glowing heat signatures. Their flagship, a monstrous black vessel shaped like a serpent's head, dwarfed even our largest battlecruiser. "They're broadcasting something," Lieutenant Fisk reported. "Audio only. Translators are running it now. Let's hear it." The voice that boomed across the bridge was low and guttural, like gravel grinding underfoot. "Earthlings, your system is now part of the Thal Draan conquest. Surrender, and your extinction will be swift. Resist, and we will turn your world to ash." A silence followed. Then Fisk added, "The Velari fleet just hailed us too, Captain. Patch it through." This voice was different, smooth and layered, as if multiple tones spoke in harmony. "Primitive species, do not interfere. This war does not concern you." I allowed myself a grim smile. I knew their kind. Arrogance dripped from every word. "Open a line to the fleet," I said. When Fisk nodded, I spoke loud and clear. "Specter Fleet, this is Rogers. Target the Thal Draan first. Hit their command ships. Prepare for Phase 1. We make our stand here, between Mars and Jupiter." Hale turned, her eyes wide. "Phase 1, Captain? That means revealing—" "I know what it means." I looked to her. "They came to our doorstep. Let's show them we're home." Phase 1 was humanity's worst-kept secret and greatest hope. For 50 years, we had hidden the truth. While the world argued politics and economics, humanity's best scientists worked underground. Entire moons had been hollowed out to create shipyards. Weapons, railguns, plasma turrets, kinetic drones had been developed beyond imagination. And above all, Earth had built its fleet, the Specter Fleet. The moment we dropped the cloaking grid, the asteroid belt shimmered. 12 Earth-made battlecruisers emerged like ghosts, sunlight reflecting off armor designed to absorb scans. To the Thal Draan and Velari, it must have looked like magic, a system they had dismissed suddenly coming alive. "Weapons hot," Hale confirmed. "Targets locked. Fire." The first salvo of railgun fire erupted from the Specter Fleet. Kinetic rounds, each traveling at near light speed, shattered into the Thal Draan vanguard. Enemy ships cracked apart, their hulls splitting like glass. The Velari were slower to respond, their ethereal ships shifting positions, but not fast enough. Earth's stealth drones swarmed them, pinpoint strikes rupturing key systems. The aliens had come to conquer. Instead, they found a fight. It didn't take long for chaos to consume the void between Mars and Jupiter. The Specter Fleet moved like a predator pack, coordinated strikes, feints, and rapid maneuvers. We didn't have the numbers the aliens did, but we had speed. We had tactics. We had everything they didn't expect. "Captain," Fisk shouted, as red warnings lit up on the holoscreen. "The Thal Draan flagship is repositioning. They're locking onto our forward fleet. And the Velari. Their lead ships are circling. It's like they're regrouping, analyzing us. Good. Let them think we're predictable." I pointed to the Thal Draan flagship, a black titan at the heart of the battle. "Bring me that ship's head," I said, and so, Specter Prime charged forward, humanity's flagship, roaring into the storm. The Thal Draan did not take us seriously. Not at first. Their tactics, brute force with no finesse, relied on overwhelming smaller civilizations. When their flagship sensors finally noticed the Specter Prime surging toward them, it was already too late. "Captain, they're charging energy cannons!" Lieutenant Hale called out. "Brace for impact!" I shouted. A burst of crimson light tore across the void. The Thal Draan's beam weapon clipped Specter Prime's forward shield. The ship groaned, the hull vibrating like a struck bell, but we held firm. "Shields at 70%, Hale confirmed. "Minimal damage. Return fire," I ordered. Specter Prime's main railguns fired in unison. Kinetic rounds slammed into the Thal Draan flagship's command tower, puncturing armor that no alien thought would ever be breached. Flames and debris erupted into space, turning the enemy's confidence into panic. The first wave of enemy ships had been scattered, but we knew the battle was far from over. The Thal Draan, furious at the audacity of humanity's resistance, regrouped quickly. Their flagship, though damaged, was still a formidable force, and reinforcements poured into the battlefield like an endless tide. "Captain, enemy ships are repositioning along the asteroid belt," Hale reported, her voice edged with tension. "They're trying to flank us." "They're adapting," I muttered, staring at the tactical hologram. The Thal Draan were learning fast. That was the danger with predators. The longer they hunted, the sharper their instincts became. "Deploy countermeasures," I ordered. "Shift Specter Fleet's formation. We'll cut them off at the belt. If they want to flank us, they'll have to go through hell." Specter Fleet split into 2 attack groups, each maneuvering along the asteroid belt's jagged expanse. Our ships weaved between tumbling rocks, using the terrain as cover while railguns and missile salvos carved through the enemy's flanking force. The Velari, meanwhile, kept their distance. Their ships glimmered like liquid light, observing, waiting. It was as if they were calculating every move, gauging how long humanity could resist. But we weren't fighting to impress them. We were fighting to survive. "Captain," Fisk's voice cracked through the noise. "Incoming transmission, Thal Draan flagship. They're hailing us." "Put them on screen," I growled. The holoscreen flickered, and a monstrous figure appeared. The Thal Draan warlord loomed over the comms feed, scales glistening like molten metal, his eyes burning with fury. "Earthling," he hissed, his voice a guttural snarl. "You dare defy the Thal Draan? Your defiance is futile. Surrender now, and I may yet spare your wretched world." I stepped forward, meeting his gaze head-on. "Spare us?" I scoffed. "You've underestimated humanity for the last time. We're not prey, we're predators, just like you." The warlord bared his fangs, but I didn't let him speak. "Now, if you'll excuse me," I said coolly, "I've got a war to win." I cut the feed. "All ships," I commanded, my voice ringing across the fleet. "Focus fire on the Thal Draan flagship. Bring it down." The Specter Fleet moved as one. Railguns roared, missiles streaked across the void, and plasma cannons erupted in dazzling arcs. The Thal Draan flagship shuddered under the onslaught, its shields flickering, its armor cracking. "They're breaking, Captain," Hale shouted. "Keep pushing," I replied, my knuckles white against the command chair. "Finish it." With one final salvo, the Thal Draan flagship erupted in a fireball, its wreckage scattering into the darkness. The remaining enemy ships faltered, their morale shattered. "They're retreating," Fisk confirmed. "We've won this round." I exhaled, feeling the weight of the moment. "Signal Earth Command," I said softly. "Tell them we held the line."